Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this adorable Christmas card. I don't know about you, but even though Christmas is on the same date every single year, it always manages to sneak up on me. And so I thought it would be a good idea just to do the occasional Christmas card with the stamps that I already have before Fawn even release their Christmas items for this year, just so that I can knock a couple off my list. So I'm going to show you a bunch of things that I used today and some that I didn't. I pulled out a whole bunch of Christmas stamps that I already have, a whole bunch of dies that I thought I might use. Most of them I did, but there's a couple in here that I didn't. At this point I knew I wanted an adorable little scene with some bears who are maybe sleeping and Santa Bear has come to their house and is leaving them some presents. So as I'm going through this stash, I'm pointing at the ones that I think I might use for this one. I am so excited to see what Fawn bring out for Christmas this year. My bet is on some cute stencils, and I really do think they're maybe going to bring out like a Merry Christmas in the same style that they have done with the Happy Birthday and the Sending Big Hugs. I would really love that. I feel like that would go really well with the new diagonal background die that I've got. It would make it really easy to make bulk Christmas cards. So that's what I'm really hoping for. And of course I think there'll be cute sets with cute little critters. I don't know what they're going to go for this year. And I'm really excited to see what their Simon Says stamp collaboration will be. Because even though I can't afford it, it costs like a literal soul or limb every time they bring them out. I just get them. And honestly, I don't regret it. I love getting the limited ones so much. There is just something so special about getting my hands on them. Last year, those birds were so cute, and even though I really haven't had much of a chance to use them, I'm so happy they're part of my stash. So what I've done here is just cut out a hole in my background for my fireplace. And now I'm going to get started on colouring. I didn't show all of my stamping today just because there is so much of it, and I do my stamping the exact same every single video. So I just stamp everything out twice so that my lines are nice and dark. One of the reasons I love Fawn in particular is because they have these bold lines and they do look quite colouring book-like. I'm really not a fan of stamps that have like lines that don't join up and things like that. That kind of drives me a bit bananas. So stamping them twice just gives them those nice dark bold lines, and they're so much fun to colour in. So today, as always, I'm using a mix of Copic markers and my alcohol markers. I do try to remember to leave the cap up so that you can see what colours I'm using. But these alcohol markers, I don't know if they're very popular or very common, so I don't know if you'll be able to match them to your markers that you use, but I just like to use cool greys when I'm colouring in with grey. I do like to do these bears in brown as well, but today I'm doing them in grey because I've got a lot of red in my background, and I thought the cool greys might go well with some of the browns and reds that are in this card. I actually kept the colour scheme for this one really simple. At first I thought maybe reds and greens for Christmas, and I mostly just stuck to red with my colouring, and then I just kept going with it because I felt like it was looking really good. I'm still learning so much about colour schemes and not going over the top, so limiting myself to just a few colours, I find it really does pay off. You can still get plenty of detail in a card without going overboard with adding too many different colours in it. I feel like one of my weak points with colouring isn't just using too many colours, but it's using too many colours that aren't part of maybe the same shades, and that can make things look a bit messy. But it's just something that I'm still learning as I go along. So I've got a lot of little details in this card. This is mostly just to fill up the space. I didn't want there to be any big gaps in this scene. So what I'm doing here is colouring in this little village, and I thought it would just look really cute on top of the mantle on the fireplace. I don't know what it is about little Christmas villages. I don't have one. I didn't grow up with one in my house. But I just feel like the whole little, collectible Christmas villages are really, really cute. And this little set of houses would look adorable above the fireplace. I've also got some presents, some milk and cookies, a stack of books, just lots of cute little images to fill up the spaces. As with all of my colouring, I'm just using 2 markers per coloured area, going in with my light one first, doing the shadows with the darker one, and then coming back with that light one to blend them out. I find this to give just enough dimension so that you can tell that there's shadow, but it's not a lot of work. Which is good because, as always, I don't have a lot of time to make these cards. This card took like 2 afternoons in between making afternoon teas and keeping children entertained and getting dinner started. There is just not a lot of time to sit and do something start to finish. So if I can keep things simple, I can work through things much faster and by some miracle still get 2 cards out a week. I'm hoping that as the little ones do get older, I'll be able to make more. My eldest goes off to school next year, so I'm sure that'll free up some time during the day. And if my little one is still kind to me and naps, then who knows, maybe I'll be able to do 3 videos a week. So, I mean, that would be nice. I would love to know in the comments below, have you started making Christmas cards yet? Are you good, and do you start like super early in the year so that you've got a whole heap by Christmas time? Or are you impatiently waiting for Fawn's new release? I keep reading that it's coming out mid-September, which is so exciting. This time of year is just super dangerous for me. It hits me every year like it's a surprise, but it shouldn't be. There's all the cute Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff and the Simon Says stamp release and all my favorite, clothing and jewelry companies are bringing out Halloween things, and it's all so overwhelming and so funny. But yeah, my bank account just wants to up and leave at this time of year. And that's before I even start Christmas shopping for the kids. And then on top of all that, I have to worry about how small my craft space is and can I really fit entire new releases every couple of months. This year for Fawn I feel like has been really good. They've had some really solid releases. The whole tropical one really took me by surprise. I was amazed at just how much I loved from that. And I'm really worried that their Halloween stuff is going to be just as fantastic this year. And I guess we'll know in a couple of weeks what it's going to be like. While I've got you here, I thought I'd tell you about some other things that I've been doing, some crafty stuff. So you may have seen over the last few weeks, I've been ridiculously unwell. We just seem to have copped it so bad this winter. And I lost my voice for a while, which is just then impossible to do voiceovers. My hearing still isn't back in one of my ears, but other than that, I feel pretty amazing. I can taste food again, so life is good. But while being sick, I still can't sit still, or at least my brain won't let me not do something. So I have been designing some things, mostly on the iPad, and you'll see at the end of the video, all of my watermarks are now my new watermark that I designed myself, rather than whipping one up in an app. And I've also been doing some Bob Ross tutorials, not physical ones though, still all on the iPad, but they have just been so much fun. So while my poor hubby's watching movies and I'm sitting on the couch not able to hear anything, I've just been drawing away, coming up with some cool ideas and some cool things to share with you soon, which is really exciting. Thank you so much to everyone who was commenting that they hope I feel better soon. It is just so sweet. And thank you for being understanding about it just throwing a complete spanner in the works with my video schedule. It just seems to have gone out the window at the moment while I try to get back into it and get out of my slump. There is nothing harder than getting out of your crafty groove and then trying to find a way back into it. But I think this card has really helped me with that. It is really cute, and it was just so nice to be able to sit back at my table and get back to making beautiful things to share with you. Now that all my colouring and white highlights are done, I have cut some craft cardstock with my stitched rectangle dies, and this is just going to make a tiny little bit of a floor down the bottom of my scene. From the same cardstock, I've cut my mantle for my fireplace, and this die was part of my fireplace die set. I'm just roughing up the edges a little bit with some brown ink so that these don't look too flat. Here I am just marking out where my fireplace is on my background and using just some excess black ink on my black brush and darkening up this space. Again, so it doesn't look so flat, it adds a little bit of dimension and makes the fireplace look a little bit used. I'm then going to glue this background down onto my red cardstock. Once that's done, I'm then going to add my double-sided tape now before I stick all my little images on, as some of them are going to be three-dimensional with some foam tape and I don't want to squish them. So now for my favourite part of any card, I'm going to start sticking all of my little images on, and you get to watch as this adorable scene comes together. Something that I don't do very often that I really should do is stamp a sentiment on the inside of my cards. So today I'm going with Merry Christmas, may you get everything you wish for. And I thought that was really cute, seeing as our little Santa bear is visiting this family, dropping off some presents. After removing the backing to my double-sided tape, it was then time to stick my card front onto my card base. And here we have it. I'm just going to do some very last-minute details, adding some white highlights to my little stockings so that they fit in with all the other images that have white highlights on them. And there we go, this card is complete. I just love it. I love full-on little scenes. I'm loving the colour scheme of this one, and those little bears are so cute, especially the little ones who are going up to Santa, excited to see what he brought them. If you enjoyed this card, then please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.